Hey my friends, welcome back to a new video. Today we'll be talking about what your spirit guides want you to know. Recently I've made a video about signs that you can recognize that your spirit guides are trying to make a contact with you. They're communicating with you. And then I saw in the comments some people were asking, well, what now? What to do if I'm receiving the signs, or what they are actually trying to tell me, because for some of you maybe quite harder to recognize the signs or to decode the messages or to simplify what is actually happening, or what can you do to get onto the path of alignment so you can sense easily that you are always supported. So the first thing that your spirit guides want you to know is that you can ask them anytime they are present with you. Maybe on a conscious level, it's a bit hard to understand that, because usually most people just can't see that. Most of us can't see that there's a presence of higher dimensions with you, around you, or within you. So on a conscious level, it's quite hard to understand that. But for those of you who are constantly meditating, who are becoming better and better in meditation, and you are becoming more self-aware, many of you have wrote me messages that you've started seeing light beings during meditation, or a small bubbles of light during meditation, or a symbol of an eye, or different symbols that you are seeing during meditation. Or for example, just recently I finished the painting which I've shared with you in the video about the spirit guides of an eye, and many people wrote me that they are seeing a similar, if not even the same eye during their meditations. So many times it can be that your spirit guides are communicating with you through signs, because signs can be easier to recognize at the beginning of our path. Each sign can associate us with something. For example, if you're seeing eye, it may remind you that open your eyes. Maybe you're still blind at certain areas of your life. Maybe the challenges in your lives are repeating because you're not seeing lessons within them. Maybe your guides are reminding you that you are supported, but you're not seeing the signs that they are giving to you. So maybe the symbol of an eye can remind you, become even more aware of your surroundings. Are there certain synchronicities which are present but you're not seeing them because you've been too distracted with your phone? Always dare to ask them if you're going through hard moments, if you're experiencing a pressure from society or from environment, or if you're dealing with certain fearful emotions, you're going through the slower emotional states. Ask them for guidance. You can always ask them for guidance. That's what they want you to know. Another thing that they want you to know is to remain grateful. Why? Because they want you to be on a higher vibrational level, so it's much easier to make a contact with you. It's much easier for you to feel the guidance. We all know that when we are grateful, we are also happier, we are more joyful, and we are more creative. So what it means to be creative? It means that our channel is opened so the universe can express itself through you. That's the creative expression. You become like an instrument of higher consciousness, or your higher self. And your spirit guides are guiding you to open your channel so you can become as an instrument, or your body can become as an instrument for your higher self, your true self, the essence of who you are. If you will remain grateful, it will be much easier to sense signs, to recognize the meaning within the signs, within the synchronicities, within the guidance. And if you will be meditating with an intention to raise your energy, to see more things to appreciate, it will be much easier to sense their presence. They are with you. So remain grateful, even in hard moments. I know that many times in the hard moments, it can be hard to express gratitude, so do not force gratitude. Rather, slow down. Take time for yourself. Remove yourself from all the action that is happening in your mind. Calm down your brain. Play some peaceful, beautiful music, or go outside into the nature if you can. And just connect with your spirit again, with your soul. Reconnect back again. And in that present state, your awareness will expand, and suddenly you will feel grateful. You will find small things to be grateful for. Your guides it will feel like they're guiding your attention to see small things to appreciate. And there's like a domino effect or a chain reaction. Once we see a small things that we can appreciate, we will see another one, and there will be another one, and another one, another one, and suddenly our mood will shift into a state of gratitude. They want you to be grateful, to always see things to be grateful for, because they want you to be in that higher state. Because in that higher state we are taking greater, more empowering action. We are more aligned with our true self, and we are walking the path of the truth. We are not victims anymore, we are the creators. In that state we become more aware of the power of the mind, and we start using it for our greater good and for the good of all. That's what they want you to know. Then they also want you to know that you are never alone. Even when it feels like we are alone, as I said before, to our conscious mind, it's hard to understand it sometimes, especially when we feel lonely. That's where we become a victim of our emotions. You find yourself alone in a room and you say, "Oh, I feel so lonely." And yes, of course, we feel lonely, but that's an emotional state of being lonely, thinking that nobody is here for you. It can only happen on that emotional level. And emotions are always a byproduct of a certain perception that you're caught in. And your perception may be the product of your environment or the society that you're living in. So again, your guides at that point are reminding you, take time for yourself. Play some beautiful music. Maybe a synchronicity will happen. Suddenly you will come across a music which happened to be your favorite song. Or you will go onto the internet and there will be a video which will completely shift your perception. That's where they are guiding you. It will all happen unconsciously, you will not even realize, but suddenly you will find yourself that your energy is rising. There's a beautiful music, or there's a video which brought you some information that you needed. Or if you will slow down and if you will go into meditation and you will calm down your body, your heart rate, and you will slow down your breathing and you will pay your attention to your heart and become aware of your heart, suddenly you will sense that you are actually everything. You are not just an individual, you are everything. When we experience that we are everything, there's a presence of many different beings which are on that higher vibrational state. Once we overcome our emotions of survival, you will see that if you experience a presence of another consciousness around you, it's a really higher consciousness. Because when we overcome emotions of survival, there will be spirits around you, supporting you. Even if you still are in the emotions of survival, let's say in fear, maybe you're afraid, how will you deal with a certain challenge? You can imagine that there is a spirit with you, close to you. Imagine and ask it for guidance. As I said at the beginning, dare to ask them. And you will see that maybe a warm feeling, a warm energy will be increased. Your body will start generating a greater energy. Suddenly you will feel better. They want you to know, they want you to know that you have that power. And because you have a free will, nobody will push you into anything. So you need to make or take an action. You need to ask them. And the last thing, which is truly beautiful, I want to add here is that when you are joyful, they are celebrating with you. They are celebrating with you. They want you to experience life in blissfulness, in joy, in happiness, in creative expression, in love. So when you are not in that state, they will be guiding you through the moments where you will find the meaning of life. Usually we find the meaning of life when we go through hardest moments. When we lose everything, we start appreciating everything. Why? Because when we finally find ourselves without anything, we start appreciating what before we took for granted. There's the magic of expression of gratitude. When we start expressing gratitude, we will not need to lose things to appreciate them, to honor them. That's why they want you to know to stay grateful all the time, even in hard moments. Find things to be grateful for. It will raise your energy. It is so powerful. The energy of gratitude is so powerful when it comes to elevating your beingness. They are celebrating with you. You can visualize that. You can imagine that. If you connect back with your soul and just visualize, maybe there will come certain images, how they look like. What's the form of maybe your master teacher, or whatever you believe, whatever you can become aware of. Maybe there's a spirit animal you can recognize, or maybe there are certain healer guides. Maybe they will be like smaller ones. Maybe there will be bubbles of light. However you will see it, know that if you are imagining it, it may be real. Make it real. Play with your imagination. Play with your mind's eye. You never know where it can take you. Do not limit yourself. They want you to know, do not limit yourself. Never limit yourself with your mind, because that's your only limitation. Every time you limit yourself with your mind, you have defined your own limitations. they can only be overcome by your expansion of awareness. And only you can do it. Nobody can do it for you. Only you can do it. So remember that the power is within you and you are supported. You are guided. Wherever you are never alone. Just become aware of that. There's a presence which is supporting you. Sometimes I see in the comments that some people think, what about the negative entities? Negative entities can be attracted by your fears. If you're not afraid of them, they will disappear because they can only be fed by your fear. If you're not afraid of them, how to not be afraid of them? Some people, I also saw in the comments, people when they are meditating, some of them experience a presence of a certain being and they got afraid. If you sense a presence of a certain being, just express love to it. Just say, I love you, or just awaken the feeling of love. And if that being will stay with you, with that feeling of love, it's your spirit guide who is helping you to ascend onto a greater level. If it will disappear, it may be a negative spirit, but don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's not so scary as it seems. Remember that your awareness, your consciousness, and your mind are your greatest tools. So never worry about those things. If you're afraid, express some love. When you're feeling down, express some gratitude. When you are lacking joy, think about what your soul is craving the most. How to know what your soul is craving the most? Ask yourself, what is bringing you the most truly honest joy? For me, it is painting, it is reading, it is filming this kind of videos. I like to research a little bit of the science behind spirituality. I'm interested into that. Then I love deep conversations with people. That's always bringing me a great amount of joy. Then I love working out. I love spending time alone in the nature. I love swimming in the ocean. I love playing with fire. Even as a kid I was playing with fire. I love fire. I know that I have a great connection with fire. I could sit at the place with the fire for hours and just watching it. That's what is bringing me joy. I love also stretching my body. I know my body needs that and my soul is shining when I'm doing that. I love meditating. That's what is bringing me joy. I love expressing my creative energy. I love to be channeled for the higher consciousness to express its ideas through me. That's where my soul is glowing the most. So if you are craving joy, if you're lacking joy, firstly, you need to know your soul better. How to know your soul better? As I said before, ask yourself what is bringing you the greatest joy. That's how will you know your soul better. Once you will know those things, you will always know what are you not doing. That's why you're not so joyful. If you're lacking joy, well, I can go outside, well, I can paint, well, I can dance, well, I can listen music, I can talk with people. Whatever is the thing that is bringing you joy, you can write it down. You can write all these things down and you will know what are you lacking that your life is not filled with joy yet. Those are the things that you are guided to know all those things, to know that the power is within you. You have the power to choose all those things, to find out all those things. But the point is that in our lives, we need to find it we need to recognize it on our own. Unfortunately, in school, nobody taught us that. When we were little, most people, their parents haven't taught them this information. Not many people know that. But gratefully, many people now are waking up to that understanding. That's why whole paradigms are shifting. In the collective consciousness, a great revolution is happening. People are gaining their power back. People are becoming more conscious of their soul. Many people have started expressing their soul. Because even if you know your soul really good, if you don't know how to express it, you will still feel blocked. So how to express your soul? When we find out what is truly bringing us joy, what is truly bringing us a great level of happiness, you will need to find a ways how to share it with others, how to express it, how to put it out. And as I always say, usually it's a creative expression of yourself. For some it is cooking, for some it is dancing, for some it is cleaning houses, or, you know, wherever you feel joyful, that's what you are meant to do. And if you're worrying how to make a living out of that, dare to ask for guidance. Remember, things will not shift in the moment, but each step you take, you can be closer to your dreams. And this can be really, really, really amazing revelation for you. So always know that you are supported. My friends, this is it for today. Have a beautiful day. I'm sending you all love, blessings, and lots of power. See you in the next one. I hope you've enjoyed today's painting. And if you would like to find more about my art, you can find it on my Instagram page, I Draw My Passion. See you in the next one. One love.